Hello, sweet people. I want to show you something incredibly fun because some of you might be familiar with some spaces in my baking school and in my home itself from the show Baked in Vermont that aired for 2 seasons on the Food Network and was canceled and threw me into a depression and a fit of despair thinking, what have I done? I thought a show was the pinnacle of any chef's culinary life. And not only did I have a show for 2 seasons, but then it went away because I suck and what's gonna happen to me? But then Ray made me realize that I was actually already living the dream that anyone else would be trying to achieve by having a show. I already lived in my favorite place in the world. I already had a fantastic husband. I already had a business that made me so happy, and I get to see people from all over the world in my baking school and I get to teach them. That is what makes me happy. What didn't make me happy, however, was the size of my space here. So if you saw that classroom on the television, this part you never saw. This part was behind a wall. And we needed to expand. We needed to invite more people so I could be more happy. And so eventually we made this space so that we could have 4 more students here. And we call it the dental wing. We call it the dental wing because the first 4 students who we hosted here for baking class were 2 couples who did not know each other. But each of those couples, they were dentists, both man and wife. And they just happened to be placed in this new section. So forevermore, we will call it the dental wing. But there are places that you'll recognize that are the same from the show. So let's look at them. You'll remember this. This is where I stood during the show when I was teaching. This is actually where I do stand when I teach in-person classes. The things that have changed are just this countertop. It used to be wood, and what would happen was that it actually had polyurethane on it, and whenever I put something hot on it, you would smell it, you're like, whoo, the burn. So I actually got a correct top so I can do all my dough work here, all my candy work, and it's very happy. This is the same cabinet. I just painted it a color called Blazer.
Blade. Laser. Blazer.
Mainly because I like to say blazer. And then, do you remember my ovens? These are the old ovens. These are my new ovens. I love them very much. The old ovens were workhorses, gave lots of heat, but 0 subtlety. These are actually plumbed in. They're called combi ovens. So they're steam ovens, but they can also dehydrate. So you can see it looks steamy because I'm using a steam function to proof some dough. And the water lines run all the way through the space, but are perfect. These ovens couldn't be happier with. And had I gotten another season, you would have experienced them too. But no, you'll have to come visit me in an in-person class and we can bake together and use the ovens. But this is not the whole point. I want to show you what we totally wrecked and that we must rebuild, and what you might remember and what has totally changed. Let's go look. Ah. Remember this? This is still the same. This is the island from which I would mix doughs and do wonderful things. We're keeping this the same because I love this island. And one thing that I love about this island is everything will be the same except we're putting actual storage underneath here, which I don't have. It was completely like open, but we're keeping the wood that was here. And originally all this wood was stained a really dark walnut. And during lockdown, I would watch Magnum PI and I would sand. I sanded everything. It took Thomas Magnum and high grit sanding paper, and the 2 of us together allowed me to sand away, and I love it. This is maple, and we're in Vermont, so This may have changed, but it's the exact same cabinet. This marble will stay. This is Danby Vermont marble, which I adore. That won't change. Other things will. Clearly, we do not have a ceiling. And what we wanted to do is we're not going to leave it this way, but we wanted to have these exposed original beams. So that you can see here, this is just kind of something that was holding up the ceiling that we've taken down. But then you can see the hand-hewn beams. You can see the axe marks from 230 years ago. I want to see those. And so what we'll do is we'll expose them, but then cover the rest and then have real light in the kitchen. This part will change a bit. We'll still have a sink here, but we will have Ray's coffee station over here in the corner. But what has really changed is what you no longer see. Right here is where my Ilvet oven was. It's kind of sitting here off to the side, waiting for its next life, which will be in the bakery. It won't be here. But I would stand here and I would stir and talk to you, and there would be some marble here and another room. And on TV, I told you, I think at one point, that when I walked into this room with Ruthie in tow, I was walking into the dining room. I lied. This was our pantry. The dining room is on the other side of the house. So what we did is we knocked down this wall so we could get this light from this room in here and have an expanded kitchen. We weren't using any of this for a kitchen. So I will have, and this is the dream so you can see my vision, a refrigerator over here on this wall, another island right here, and that island will have a stone countertop underneath which will be our heating elements. It will be induction that is hidden. And why do I want that? I like induction in general, but when you use induction, and because you can hide it under the stone, I can use the entire surface for baking. I can make all my doughs all throughout this very big, hopefully, counter. And you know what else I don't like? I don't like when I'm at a stove and I'm facing a wall or sideways. That's why I had to stand all cattywomp to you, is because I couldn't literally face the stove because I'd be facing a wall and be craning my neck to look at you. I was always standing at the side of the stove, stirring, or literally craning around. Now I can look outside, or Ray can look outside. Depending on who's cooking, we can look outside. I can see the gardens. I can see the dogs playing. I can see the snow, all the things. Where's my Rudy? Come here. Come with me. Come here. There are some other old and new things. If you remember Ruthie, she's 13 years old and still kicking. This is Daisy. This is Betty. Brand new and silly as all get out. And always in the kitchen, always smelling and so excited for new things. So stay with us on this journey. I have a vision, I swear. And hopefully, as the days, weeks, probably months progress, you'll start to see the vision I have too. So comment down below what you remember about the kitchen. I know you remember that red oven. It has found a new home. I know you remember Ruthie sitting by the stove, looking longingly at whatever I was making. So what do you remember? What did you love? And what are your thoughts? Would you like to see those beams? Because they're 230 years old, and I really want to look at them every day. Comment, tell me, and let's do this together. No, let's not. I already know what I'm doing. We've already put the deposit down. Stick around for our journey at Free Brace. What are you doing, Ruthie?
Okay, cutting.
If you're interested in more in-depth classes, both in person and online, visit sugargliderkitchen.com. Hey, don't forget to punch down those like and subscribe buttons.